Be right there. On my way.
Unexpected.
Yes, big us.
No one with an honest job has an office this nice.
I knew I heard a little weasel sniffing about. You'd best go back the way you came. There's nothing for you here. I understand that you think yourself a big hero here on a big, important job. The last one did too. But you've grossly misapprehended the situation here. This place is a graveyard. All that was done here should be forgotten and left to rot. I did. And I am prepared to do worse if you ignore my warning. Gorgon is the birthplace of marauders. We created them here, in this very facility. They are our misbegotten children, born of Hubris, vanity.
Marauders were created? Those bastards!
But marauders are just mindless lunatics, right? There can't be more to it than that.
They hold no fondness for trespassers. I've placed the facility under emergency lockdown to keep them safe. Let the marauders die in peace, or I will make certain that you die with them.
I used to think it was just life trying to kill us. Starve for a week, fight to the death for a good night's sleep. We were all a little mad. Marauders were just the folks who embraced it.
I always figured they were townies who spent too long on the factory line. Guess there's more to it.
Watch out!
Ready for more? Think this comms tower's gonna lead us to someone with answers? Or more warnings and riddles?
Birthplace of Marauders. We ought to have left well enough alone. Now we're in it. Come hell or high water, we've got to see this through.
I'm hoping this leads us to someone we can talk with face to face. Or punch, if it comes to that. You really think Spacer's Choice made Marauders out of all these people?
Ugh. Now it really feels like home. I see Monarch ain't the only pet project the board's willing to abandon.
Why do I have a feeling we're not gonna like what's in there?
Be informed that emergency evacuation protocol is currently in progress.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating. You...
Of course I'm anticipating. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it. Embrace it. Work with it. You're in control here, Popeye. Not them.
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
Captain! Imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news. Someone? You mean someone still has access to the facility? Oh, after all this time. Who was it? I don't even know who's still alive from Project Gorgon, much less who would care enough to guard its secrets. Make sure you have eyes on the back of your head. I doubt we've seen the last of this human vexation. If I know Spacer's Choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it. I seem to recall that Mother worked closely with Gorgon's R&D personnel, but not close enough to invite them over for dinner and cocktails, if you get my meaning. By now, they'll have moved on with their lives. If only I could do the same. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time. What? No. I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late. Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend, a drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise. I don't know. And thanks to Spacer's Choice, we may never find out. I know that I'd like to see a colony where the promise of adrenatime was fulfilled, and I doubt I'm the only one. Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes? Ta!
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this.
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical down
Fancy
there?
Cleo's pipe patch.
All of the benefits of smoking in real time. None of what gets
The dissidents actually took over the refinery.
Come to do your part to defend our fair city? What can I help you find?
What? So something's not...
Here they come.
Captain!
Please do not waste company bullets.
Don't hurt me! I don't want to die!
C&P chicken and potatoes. At C&P, we know our C&P.
Remember that straight.
I'll sue every technician and employee.
It is endlessly fascinating to me that all of existence is simply atoms, molecules, and chemical reactions, which in turn create and govern our bodies, minds, and emotions. And yet somehow, we still believe we are in control.
Something's not right.
Incoming! Nice hit!
Hey, I know your face. You're wanted by the board. Wow. You're a living, breathing outlaw. That is, until security outside gets their eyes on you, but let's not spoil the moment. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating. Oh, that's just so encouraging to hear. I'll just go ahead and add your comment to my permanent record. Now then, how can I help you? We find that our clients enjoy the appearance of participating in illegal activities. Secrecy contributes to a feeling of indecency.
This kind of thing's pretty common. Bijou's used to do a prison-themed night. Served fish sticks with tartarus sauce.
Oh yeah, prison-themed night was the best. Plus, they gave away limited edition designer handcuffs. The Musgrave family collection was intended to be a gallery of fine art. And here we are, using this place to practice semi-legal canid shows. Scandalous, isn't it? That's privileged information. I really shouldn't tell you. That's a fair point. All right, I'll tell you. But just keep this between us. The Musgraves own one of Earth's largest private collections of art and literature. They were going to have the entire collection shipped all the way to Halcyon. Unfortunately, that collection never arrived. We haven't heard anything from the delivery convoy, and there's some purely hypothetical concern that the collection might be, well... I was going to say indefinitely delayed by unforeseen and unknowable circumstances, but yes, let's go with that. Anyway, that's as much as I can tell you. Will there be anything else? Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his canid La Place into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left.
Oh, just hear me out. It's a brilliant idea.
Do you know the interesting thing about canid shows? Oh, but there is, if one possesses an eye for statistics. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph, Putting the Us in Calculus, or How to Use Mathematics to Find Your Statistically Significant Other. I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly. Yes, that's us. Mostly oak trees, too. My grandfather invented them, you know. Well, no, he didn't invent mostly oaks, but he did purchase the naming rights back during the terraforming days. It's essentially the same thing. Oh. Then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the chem lab and human inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know 2 people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Yes, the birthplace of the Marauders. And a graveyard for all our mistakes. Starting Project Gorgon was our first mistake. Trying to bury Project Gorgon while it's still very much alive and clawing its way back to the surface, that may be our last mistake. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way, we don't have to rely on mutual trust. A grand prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have. My Canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other Canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him. Oh, you're much too kind. Does this mean you'll do it? Head into the main hall and take the elevator down into the maintenance tunnels. You'll find a service passage that leads up into the trophy room. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium.
It's not canid hunting I object to, it's the impropriety.
Since when do you...
It ain't stealing if no one sees.
With us.
Shame on you, Max! That's the last of them.
Nicely done.
You know, stealing from these assholes is its own reward.
It seems people who've never known struggle will use any means necessary to evoke the thrill of uncertainty, no matter how banal.
Never cared much for hors d'oeuvres. The word is just grotesque. All those superfluous letters ruin my appetite. My eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. What's on your mind? My trophy! Look at this thing! Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers, Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. We keep all sorts of data on a permanent record. Spending habits, dietary restrictions, movement. Finding a person is no more complicated than solving an equation. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing. Someone sabotaged the facility. Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. Well, with Spacer's Choice equipment, who even knows? Dr. Blakesley tendered her resignation lawfully, but under suspicious circumstances. If you want to know more, you'd best ask her yourself. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Anti-Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus.
No, Captain. Lab coats, as in scientists.
Is your captain always this dense? How are you all still alive?
I live for risk.
Let's get back on topic. You'll find Dr. Lowe in an orbital lab around Olympus. Try to exercise caution. It's good for your lifespan. You did fetch a trophy for my little applause. Technically, that makes you my canid servant, and by the transitive property of employment, my responsibility. No need to sound so astonished. Now, was there anything else? Let's try to keep it down, shall we? At least pretend we're being discreet? There's not a lot about Project Gorgon I can tell you. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I closed that chapter in my life. I've moved on. Look, don't tell anyone I said this. But if there's anything I've learned by living in Byzantium, it's this. If you go looking for the truth, you are looking for trouble. All right. Ask your questions. And then if you don't mind, don't mention Project Gorgon anywhere near me again. Minnie Ambrose. Oh, Olivia's brat. Ambitious, but like the rest of her family, irrelevant. She tried following her mother's example, failed, and if she ever tried again, I couldn't tell you. The name Ambrose doesn't mean anything to me anymore, or to anyone halfway respectable. The Ambroses are, how do I put this politely, obsolete? A family's name is only as strong as its enterprise. The Musgraves have Rizzos, and the Schuyler's have Auntie Cleo, and so we show those names the respect they deserve. The Ambrose name was associated with Project Gorgon. The project died, and so the Ambrose name died with it. That's just the way the game is played. Project Gorgon was designed to change the life of every worker on Halcyon. We weren't just building a product, we were trying to build a society. How many workers call Halcyon their home? What do they eat and when? How long do they sleep? How hard do they work? What are their most productive years? When do their organs begin to fail? That's the nature of my work. I study human life in order to determine its value. Jewelers appraise diamonds, and I appraise people. It's complicated. I'll be honest, I didn't join Project Gorgon because I wanted to satisfy my intellectual curiosity. I was courting the daughter of a Spacer's Choice family. We were a mathematically congruent match, you see. I had the proofs all written out and everything. I see you've been in the same situation. Yes, she wasn't impressed by my absolute value. After she made her feelings clear, I left the project. Everything. Every project has a margin of failure. We expect setbacks, complications, delays. Project Gorgon experienced a cascade failure. One mistake precipitated another, and another, and another. The labs failed to develop a safe drug. Human Inquiry failed to perform their tests responsibly. An unsafe drug tested on unhealthy subjects by irresponsible supervisors. That's Project Gorgon. No one appreciates the value of good data. The holistic surveillance device I wear is an invaluable tool, gathering data on all my day-to-day activities. My former colleagues can go into hiding and live in ignorance for all I care. I prefer the self-examined life. Anarchy is not a crime. It is a symptom. The undisciplined workplace secretes anarchy the way our glands secrete enzymes. It's a principle of science. Sabotage came first. The chem lab, Human Inquiry, even my own office. Sabotage broke the discipline of our workplace, leading to confusion, leading to escaped subjects, leading to anarchy. I know. Project Gorgon was a failure of leadership. Leadership to which I belonged. I should have pushed for stricter supervision. We gave the other departments too much freedom and not enough oversight. Spare the rod, spoil the servant.
So, Vicky. Can I call you Vicky?
Of course. You may address me however you wish.
Vicky, huh? Okay, Vicky it is. You're really gonna let me run with that, aren't you?
Why wouldn't I?
That episode from a few weeks ago was...
Auntie Cleo's ketchup.
Wouldn't it be something
Vegan, handmade, gluten-free, dairy-free nuts.
Someone has left a threatening message on your terminal, Captain. I was unable to trace its origin. Please make a note of it.
You're adjusting before you pull.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? See you soon, Captain. First drop at the Groundbreaker Auxiliary Base.
Look at these hull heads, walking around like they run the place.
Hey you, over here. Let's chat. Whoa, 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 it's Riz. Oh, fucking damn it. Every time. So, hey, you trespass, and I'm armed. Maybe take a second look at your life choices, pal.
Jimmy used to work security for Rizzo's before he got fired for... what was it again? Rank incompetence and gross odor? Or was it gross incompetence and rank odor?
Oh, you think you're funny, kid? You want to hear a little jingle? I'll get your head ringing.
I've seen these guys around. They like to walk with cold shoulders and play at being mercenaries. What do they call themselves again? Landscapers? Green thumbs?
Gardeners. We're the gardeners. And you know this is our turf, kid. We ain't subversives. We're gainfully employed. This is a private contract.
You guys actually got hired? I don't believe it. Who's the contract for?
For Marion Blakesley. Dr. Marion Blakesley. Very legitimate. Thing is, she don't want visitors. Miss Junlei can't get too mad if we rough up some trespassers. Especially if I was nice enough to warn him first. This deal with Blakesley's pretty sweet. We get paid, and we get fresh greens every week. My gums never looked healthier. Wait, you serious? You, don't look much alike. Look, we won't give you trouble, but I can't say the same about Blakesley. She's got some crazy setup in there, so if you get shot, don't come complaining to me. This one's clear, guys.
Nice going, boss.
Some days, it's like I don't know what to do with myself.
Come on, this must be a step up from Borst factories, huh?
Doesn't look like either of them is sitting pretty in
to be kidding me. I thought I made myself clear. Wait, what's with this camera? Hello? Damn it. Look, I get it. Some people need things spelled out for them. I'm sure one of the automechanicals can explain.
Nobody messes with you, boss!
Unexpected.
Oh, you are in for it now.
Heads up, boss!
Searching for another. Investigating.
Hold on, Miyuko!
You hear that? Sounds like it's coming from the other side of that door.
Huh. I would have just broken it.
So who the fuck? Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear a damn thing. Just gonna shut this thing off. Right. Marion Blakesley, what can I do for you, Mr. Home Invasion?
Spacer's Choice send you? Took your sweet time. Gorgon? I holed up in a forgotten cargo bay of a rotting colony ship just so I could never hear that name again. But here you are. That bastard. Is he still only mostly worthless, or has he achieved mathematical perfection in that regard? Yeah, most people don't change much. Clarence lacks the attention span for this sort of thing. Someone wants to dig up the past, and you're the shovel, right? Ambrose. Well, I'll assume you're caught up then. That or hopelessly confused. Corporate demanded a product they could throw onto shelves. That put the squeeze on low at Chem to develop formulas. Samples. But how do you know if the product works? You run tests, see what happens. That's where human inquiry and auditing came in. I ran HIA and HIA ran the tests again and again and again. And what happens is a whole lot of wasted time and even more bodies. You met the gardeners. They're nothing but overgrown canids, but people love their fancy names. We were looking for a game changer, something to better the colony. It felt important, worth a few sacrifices. Spacer's Choice. They wanted to sell that change for as many bits as they could. None of us got what we wanted. Testing supervisor. I designed the initial testing regimens. Managed the staff, made sense of the test results. Tried to anyway. People are complicated, and I don't just mean the test subjects. Try and avoid working with people if you can. It always gets messy. I'd have tidied up a little if I knew you were going to break in. You've heard the adverts, right? Work day and night, still feel refreshed the next morning. Now, what we tested for was dexterity, efficiency, compliance, the traits of a good employee. Numbers never came out right. I could have pumped gallons of those chemicals into every living soul in this colony. Wouldn't have changed that. What we got was marauders. And I got a hefty corporate paycheck for it, too, up until it all fell apart. That's not the part that made Spacer's Choice give up, anyway. You can still buy Adrena time, after all. We had a few weird accidents, escapes, minor setbacks. But one day, all the test subjects got loose. Sabotage, they said. Wasn't just us. All of the facilities got hit hard. Shut us down for a while. That turned out to be the last straw. Nah, didn't much care by then. Don't care much now. Spacer's Choice wasn't getting much use out of us anymore, so they shuttered the project, kicked Adrena time out the door. And I came here. I could have gone back to Byzantium, found a position somewhere else. Even started up something new, like mostly. But I couldn't stop thinking about. Indulge a scientist. What do you want out of this investigation of yours? Trying to liven up your memoir? Really? What good can that possibly do? How about you, kid? You've got orphan written all over that baby face of yours. What do you get out of headbutting murderous automechanicals for your captain here?
First of all, I don't headbutt. I dropkick. As for what I get out of it, I don't know. It's fun.
Hope it stays that way, kid. That's all I've got. Here, I still have this pass. Don't much feel like hanging on to it anymore. Made my exit the moment the project started falling apart. Had to steal some credentials. This should get you into the volunteer induction entrance. Be careful on Gorgon. The compound got into the air, the water, everything. That asteroid makes monsters.
Captain, an unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. I have been programmed to simulate joy and excitement at the opportunity to test my limited defensive capabilities. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I was bluffing, Captain. When we met in Emerald Vale, my systems were not fully operational. Even if they were, I might have made an exception for you. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, As long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Yes, Captain. I am capable of deploying the Unreliable's articulated thrusters to dislodge their ship from our own. This is a temporary solution, however. A permanent solution may require your personal intervention. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiating warm welcome protocol. Please maintain a responsible distance. Warm welcome protocol successfully deployed. Have a safe boarding, Captain.
Looks like our opponent knows how to play defense. All right, freebooters, fall back and regroup.
Looks like we're doing this.
I'm reloading!
Go!
Go!
Yeah, Ryoko's good, boss! Try it!
Reloading!
Everyone all right?
Hell of a job.
Now you're barging into my office, muddying tracks all over my floor. A little respect for the ship. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, but I had every intention of respecting the upholstery. I would have had you spaced or shot in the bathroom or something. You're the captain of the Unreliable. You dropped out of the sky in Emerald Vale, and whatever you've been doing on Gorgon, you've upset my employer. You and I are in a bit of a situation. I don't get paid unless you're dead. And a man's gotta make a living. You understand. Well, it's not like I've got much of a choice here. If you're willing to be reasonable, I'm willing to put away the coach persona. My team and I were contracted to apprehend the Unreliable, eliminate its crew, and dispose of the captain. I couldn't tell you who hired me even if I wanted to. The contract's anonymous. No names, no faces, just money and a target. I can't turn down a job like that, you understand. You're a recruiter? Good law, why didn't you lead with that? If you're willing to recommend me to Groundbreaker, I'm willing to forget I ever had a contract on you. What do you say? Collateral damage, they were always expendable. Honestly, don't give it a second thought. I appreciate you putting in a good word for me. You don't know how long I've been wanting to play professional tossball again. I'll keep my ship clear of yours. You and I will never cross orbits again. I got no reason to come after you. Use my credentials to get inside the cockpit and take our tracking device. Our astrogation terminal was tracking your ship. Don't ask me how. Never had much luck with computing devices myself. The truth. We never caught up to the Unreliable. You vanished somewhere into the void. Astrogator never picked up your location again.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course.